Hi, Happy New Year. I hope that you and your family had a fantastic holiday season, and I hope that you're looking forward to a happy and healthy 2024. Since we've entered the new year, we're now within 100 days of the total solar eclipse on April 8th. Now is the time to practice, and we're going to have two types of practice sessions being run now for the DEB initiative. Hopefully, you've seen this list of solar practices and lunar practices, and if you haven't, please jot down these dates now. The solar practices are essential for teams outside of the path of totality, but also for teams inside the path of totality during the partial phase. And what we're going to do is basically run the same scripts that we ran during the annular eclipse in October of 2023. We had some great success as a project team during that annular eclipse. I wanted to show you a couple of pictures. Here's a picture of Charles Greenwald and his team of high school students from Guadalajara, Mexico. As you see, they had some fantastic skies and great weather during the annular eclipse, and they collected some awesome images. I was lucky enough to go to Hobbs, New Mexico, and work with Joel Karanen and Paul Thornton at the New Mexico Junior College and the Western Heritage Museum. And again, you can see that we had fantastic blue skies during the event, and we were able to collect some great images of the partial phase and also the annular phase of the event. Finally, a shout out to our Canadian team with Myra Tavar and Tyron Su in the physics and astronomy department at Langara College in Vancouver, Canada. You can see that the weather in Vancouver is a little bit more challenging than in the Southwest, but the team went out there and practiced on close targets and was ready in case the clouds parted during the annular eclipse. So during the practices coming up in January, February, and March, we'll be running about the same scripts, the solar photosphere upload scripts that we ran during the annular event. But we also need to have different types of practices, especially for teams in the path of totality in April. And these will look at the moon. These are lunar sessions that we've scheduled for Tuesdays and Thursdays in January, February, and March. And what we're going to do, obviously, is to take a look at the moon. Now, the reason that we're doing this is that the solar corona is very bright at the limb of the sun and drops off by a large factor of intensity at the edge of our field of view. You can see in this photo, well, what you can't see is that the intensity drops off by about a factor of 1,000. So in order to get detail all along our field of view, we take what's called a high dynamic range image. We take a sequence of 4 different exposures, the shortest ones to capture the detail near the limb of the moon, and the longest ones to capture detail outside, further away from the moon. We don't have eclipses to practice this, unfortunately, but we have an excellent target, and that is the crescent moon. The bright part of the crescent moon is about equal to the intensity of the solar corona near the solar limb. And then Earth shine, this is light that's reflected off of the Earth and back toward the moon. This is about as bright as the solar corona further out, about 2 solar radii away from the sun. So the crescent moon gives us a target to practice with, and these dates correspond to times of the crescent moon. So there will be a new script called totality that hopefully you've tried already, but we're going to practice that on the crescent moon and test your exposure times and test your upload scripts as well during these evenings. Practice makes perfect, and the only way that we're going to get excellent eclipse data is to practice as a team. If you've seen a total solar eclipse, you know that it's really exciting and you'll be very distracted during the event. So practicing is the best way to ensure that you'll get some good data. And if you haven't seen a total solar eclipse, take our word for it. It's going to be really exciting and very distracting. And so you'll want to be able to fall back on habits and muscle memory that you build up during these practice sessions. So again, have a happy new year, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you in the upcoming practice sessions for the DEB initiative.